So let's have a look at the precision tree tool, and maybe let's start with the same example we were looking at through the presentation, basic one. So you can start from anywhere, just click on one cell and click the precision tree and click the decision tree tool. So this will be where you are placing your first node, the decision node. Click OK, and you will be given this dialog box. So we will name this as traveling to uni, right? And click OK, and you can see the decision, right? Then moving forward along the pathway, deciding which node we are using is by selecting this particular icon or the symbol you can see. Just click on it, and you will see there's a dialog box coming up, and there are different nodes available, but we will be using the nodes that we discussed, decision node, chance node, and the terminal or the end node. Right, so here if you remember, we have a decision to make, right? So we'll be going with the decision node. Clicking that will pop up another dialog box. There's basically two options here. So we will name them as using public transport, right? The second one would be driving, and maybe we can have another one. We'll have walking as well. Okay, and click OK. Right, so here goes the three decisions, uh, which may be the decisions that we make every morning. Okay, right, so moving forward now, let's assume we would be using the PT or the public transport. Then that would lead to a chance node, right? So we would select the chance, and that pops up another dialog box. So the chances of using the public transport, as we discussed, could be two chances. Let's, for the sake of introduction, let's have two chances: train on time, and let's say that is 70% probability. There's a 70% probability, right? And the branch 2 would be train is delayed. Okay, and if the train comes on time, there's no value, but if the train is delayed, you remember we discussed there would be a $50 cost for us. So we'll click OK. Right, okay, so the precision tree identifies that our cumulative probability is not 1 or not 100%. So it's asking the probabilities defined for this node do not add up to 100, right? This is what I explained in the presentation. When you don't have, you must have a probability of 1 as a summation, right? So we can, we'll click 30 here, click OK, right? So here are the two chances and the cost as well. We'll do the same for driving. Let's assume there is okay. So let's say light traffic and heavy traffic. So, or maybe call this as no traffic. So then let's say okay, let's assume uh, there's a chance of 80% chance of no traffic, and there is a 20% chance of heavy traffic. And considering the heavy traffic and wait time, not being able to reach um, the uni on time for the lecture, and maybe let's say you miss the early bird entrance to a car park as well, and that would give us a cost of $60, right? So if we are on time, there won't be any cost, but if we are late, there'll be a cost of 60, right? Okay. And walking, of course, yes. Uh, no, no problem. Right. So this is what it looks like, the decision tree, but we are not trying to assess anything out of it. This is just for the sake of explaining. Right. So this is how we can develop a very basic decision tree. And now let's move on to the tutorial questions and try to develop uh, the decision trees respective to the given scenarios, and try to uh, get some facts and figures on the decision that we need to make.